So I have this area right next to my bed that's a mess. I wanted to try to unclutter it in some kind of way, so I wanted to put something on the wall. That was my idea. Find something that I can put on the wall. And I looked for things online, and I didn't really see anything that was spectacular. And some of the things were expensive, and some of the things I said I can make myself. So that's what I did. Got some tools, and I decided to do it. One tool that I really needed was a saw. And I heard about Bosch products, and I said, let me get this Bosch saw, since I needed one anyway. And here I am, just taking it out of the box, and about to do what I need to do to get it going so I can use it to cut this wood. And once I put everything away and completely got the saw out, and I then began to try to put the blade on. Now, like I said, I hadn't used one of these in a while, and I forgot how to lock the mechanism so that I could get to tighten the saw blade on. And I just had to stop and read the directions, because what I was doing was not working. So that's what I did. I stopped, read the directions, and tackled it again. And I found this little button right here by the front of the saw, and I loosened the nut. And once I got it loosened, it was pretty easy. It wasn't difficult. I don't know if you saw there, I hit my my thumb with the metal tool, but I unscrewed it, took the pieces apart, and there are actually two pieces. One piece was supposed to stay in. I took both pieces out. So I put the one piece back into the saw, and then I got the blade, and I put the blade on, and then once I got the blade situated, I began to just tighten it back up. Like I said, it was fairly easy, not difficult at all, just easy setup. Here I am, just putting the nut back in, screwing it back on by hand. That's all. It didn't take much. Just by hand is good. And so then I take the tool again, and like I said, I hadn't used this in a while, so I'm taking this tool and I'm going full force with it, trying to tighten it, and it just a little bit was enough. Now I use these grips to grip this wood that I was going to cut. So I gripped it on to this sawhorse that I bought, and they're pretty tight. I held it in place. This Bosch saw was wonderful. I know it's a new blade, new saw and everything, and time will tell how wonderful this saw is, but just using it was just wonderful. It was comfortable for me. I enjoyed it, and I think I made a good purchase. So that's the saw I used to cut all the wood. Now, once this piece is cut, I just used this little bit. I just took this little bit off because this cedar that I bought was a little bit longer, just a tad bit longer than the plywood, the 24, I don't know if it was 24, I think 48 inch piece of plywood that I bought. And so I just had to cut it off a little bit. And that's what I did. Now I take the metal square, and I'm marking where I'm going to put my first holder, where I'm going to put the holder for the bracket, and just making sure that I have everything level and straight. I use the square to make this line so that I can put the bracing up there for the shelving unit. And here's the bracing. I just put it up there real quick just to see if it's straight from, straight enough to my eye. And once I got it on there and made sure everything was right, I got my drill together, my DeWalt drill set or drill bit set found the bit that I needed for the screw that I was using and attached it to my Ridgid drill. Another company that I enjoy using, Ridgid. And I began to put these screws in. I only had these 1-inch, I think it was 1 1/4 inch screws. So I figured I'd use those since I had them, and I just use an angle grinder to grind it down on the other end. That way you won't even see it anyway, at all. So now I'm attaching the brace for the bracket to go on for the shelf. So once I attach that brace to the top portion, I'm able to put these brackets on. I'm just testing it just to see how it works, how it looks. I'm not putting it on permanently just yet. Just want to make sure that everything is cool. So I put them in just to see. And so now I get the drill again, and I'm going to I didn't. Now I'm making the markings for my coat hangers. So I found these coat hangers, and I wanted to use them, 4 of them, to hang stuff on. And so I began to mark those off where I wanted them to go. And I took the coat hangers and I kind of centered them on the mark, and I just drilled them in. I really like these coat hangers. They're nice and sturdy, solid. So that's what I chose to use as my coat hangers. So once I got it drilled in, I went through the process of getting them all in, and once they all were in, I was down to the last one, I should say. Once I got to the last one, I was able to get it in there, and I'll finish it all up. And I thought it looked pretty good. It's pretty cool. They're the 4 coat hangers. And next, I'm going to attach the shelving. So I got the 1 1/4 inch screws and just drilled in the shelf. There's my little girl helping me. All the children were out that day helping me build it. Now this brace right here is the brace I used for the basket that I bought. So the shelf is in, and I'm just this is the end brace on the side where the basket will go. And so I'm just about done. Actually, all I have is one more shelf to do, and I set it down on my Timberlands, and got to cutting the last piece of wood, last piece of cedar. And once this piece is cut, I'm pretty much done. All I have to do now is take this piece and put it for the top shelf of the unit. And then I take this all inside, because at this time mosquitoes were really getting out there, and really, I should say mosquitoes were out there and really biting. So there's the area before, like you saw earlier in the beginning of the video. And this is what it looks like now. So that evening I was finished. It took me like 2 hours, maybe just a little bit more than 2 hours to complete the project. And I'm satisfied with it. I was going to stain it or paint it or what have you, but I'm just satisfied with it as is. This is the next morning. I took a picture of it when I woke up, and I'm satisfied. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. It didn't take long, 2 hours.